here's Brody Brazil.
Hey, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to this series profiling individual members of the Oakland A's for 2023. And this one is going to prove to you that I've been updating my content as we go here, because I initially made an AJ Puk player profile video. It's already been published, so it lives out there. AJ Puk is no longer on the A's because Oakland traded him for JJ Bleday from the Marlins organization. So now I've got the JJ video. I did the AJ video. Now I've got the JJ video. And by the way, do you think that was the first time in big league history, maybe even sports history, that an AJ was traded for a JJ? But I digress. Here's the basics on Mr. Bleday. Comes in at 25 years old on opening day with 75 days of big league service time. He was acquired just a couple days ago from when I'm recording this, the 11th day of February 2023, in exchange for AJ Puk, who went to the Marlins. And the first thing, by the way, I could think about when I saw this deal become official was that AJ Puk would be joining Jesus Luzardo in Miami. Two players that were coming up in the Oakland organization. There was so much hope and so much promise for Luzardo and Puk. Different statures, different skill sets as pitchers. But the one thing you knew is that their names were so heavily linked, and they were roommates for a while in the A's organization, and they were going to be the next big thing in Oakland's rotation. Turns out Puk never really even made it to the rotation. Luzardo had some major struggles, had a hand, or it was a broken hand or wrist or finger because of the whole video game thing and the controller. Anyway, it's so unfortunate. I wanted so much better for Luzardo and Puk individually, collectively in the Oakland organization, and now that chapter effectively done. But how interesting is it that Puk and Luzardo are reunited in Miami? Okay, but this is the JJ Bleday video. I'm sorry. He bats and throws left. He's an outfielder. He, like Puk, was a first-round pick. Bleday was selected 4th overall in the 2019 draft by Miami. So they've always had high expectations for them and for him. And this is, kind of a big deal that they're parting ways with him in the same fashion that Oakland is parting ways with AJ Puk. A very interesting commodity type deal here. Let's look back at 2022 for Bleday. He reached base safely in 44 of the 62 games played with Miami. Now, a lot of those games, it seems, and I'd have to go back on the game logs, he drew a lot of walks. On-base percentage good. There are some other frustrating things about his stats offensively last year. In terms of starting defensively, 37 times in center field, 15 times in left field, just 4 times out in right field. Good to know he can play all 3 positions. Obviously, if you can play center, I don't know why they didn't necessarily put him in right if there was a logjam there. He played a decent amount in left, but you would have to think the A's would not have much hesitation putting him at any spot. Certainly, center and left are interesting, especially if Laureano is definitely going to be Oakland's right fielder. You got Pache out there. You got Estieri Ruiz out there, some other outfield candidates. So, there's a lot of competition, let's be honest, in Oakland's organization in the outfield. We'll dive into that topic and some options here that Bleday has in just a second. Last year was his first season at the AAA level at all, so he made his debut there as well as getting just a taste of a big league baseball. But in AAA, 85 games played, left the yard 20 times in 85 games. That's a significant amount of dingers right there. Only hit .229. That's normally not a batting average that blows people's socks off and gets you called up. But hit a lot of homers, had a pretty good on-base percentage at .365, did strike out 99 times, but did walk 60 times. So drawing a walk in a majority of games, not every game, but a majority of games, and hitting 20 homers, you do the math, 60 walks plus 20 dingers, he's doing something to produce a run or get on base at least once a game, basically. But he did strike out at least once a game. So there's a lot of certain things there. There's a lot of walks, strikeouts, and a decent amount of home runs. His big league stats in 65 games played, hit a .167, 5 homers, 16 RBI, and 30 walks last year with the Fish. He was called up for a period from July 23rd, so basically right after the All-Star break, until the end of the season, October 5th. And there was also this, and it was noted by analysts and pundits and, those who point to stats maybe more than observations, but the stat is here, his pull percentage. It's always been relatively high, and actually last year, it kept increasing from 21 to 22 and double to AAA. And then in the majors last year, a 49.6 pull percentage. Typically, that number in the 30s, so for it to be closer to 50%, a pull-heavy hitter, and maybe that explains the amount of home runs, like he's getting all of it when he does make contact, but maybe that also explains the strikeouts too. Look, again, the on-base percentage is good. Hitting 20 homers, you're doing something right in the minors in that span. So there are some really good things to build on here, but now it's about maybe evening all of that out. Okay, so for JJ Bleday in 2023 in the Oakland A's, what does this mean? Number one, it's a fresh slate. And really in the same way that, AJ Puk is getting a brand new opportunity, he can kind of let the past go with everything in Oakland's organization. He's switching, coasts here. I really think younger players like this in their career, if things haven't gone exceptionally well and you get that chance to just switch teams and continue your path and get a good opportunity, a fresh slate can do both these players, Puk and Bleday, a lot of good. Now, Bleday has 3 minor league options intact, meaning that the A's can bring him up, put him back down to AAA. This does not have to be a on the roster situation to start off the season. If he earns it, great. I mean, who would complain about that? But they don't have to rush JJ Bleday. And especially looking at the offensive stuff, the strikeouts, and trying to get it all right. You can take your time on this because honestly, it's a crowded outfield and utility player situation with the A's this season. I'm glad he can play all 3 outfield spots. Again, that doesn't bottleneck him in. That doesn't make it a logjam of any one position that he has to play or he can't play because somebody else will. It's good that he's flexible in the outfield. And I think, look, you can build on the home runs and the on-base percentage. Bleday's doing those things right. So now let's get the average up. Let's get him making contact a little bit more. If you're going to be in the outfield, it's almost kind of a given with the A's, really with any big league team, that you'll have to provide some level of regular offense. That's where the A's were so short last year. So hopefully they'll give him the time to get it right and bring him up when necessary. I don't know, opening day, April, early in the season, maybe later in the year. Feeling pretty confident you will see him sooner than later with the green and gold, but I do look forward to what JJ Bleday can bring. And again, another player here who did not actually take that photo already. So if you're looking at proportions of the hat and the jersey and you're like, guy looks a little weird. No, that's not him. That is completely photoshopped. But I am looking forward to seeing JJ Bleday in the green and gold sooner than later. So that does it for this profile. And as we kind of close out this series here, I want to say thank you so much for watching and look forward to much more A's content ahead this season. Thumbs up on this video if you liked it, if you found it insightful or entertaining, and also subscribe to this channel. A lot more baseball and A's and Howard Terminal videos coming your way soon.